Good morning, Internet friendos, and welcome to another episode of Life According to Joel. On today's episode, I figured I would hit the elephant in the room, negativity. Everybody these days is just posting to Facebook. The economy is collapsing. Thousands of Americans are dying. The president's asking people to inject themselves with Lysol and UV lights up their butts. Just a lot of insane and horrible thoughts, and just a lot of negativity online. And something about negativity is negativity has a bad effect on your health. And so I figured today I would talk about positive thinking, self-love, and ways that I am trying to remain positive. And so one of the biggest things when talking about countering the culture of negativity is to do things that you enjoy and to do things that bring up your spirits. And one of those things is cooking. I love to cook. And so I made myself this fudge brownie and, well, chocolate fudge, not really a brownie. And I've topped it with some organic mint stracciatella ice cream and a banana hors d'oeuvre. And it tastes great. So that's just one thing I'm doing positively. I have a roast in the oven right now, so I'm cooking roast tonight so that I can watch the sunset and eat roast and drink wine. And just trying to do things, it's the little things like that I'm trying to do to keep positive. Another thing is, yesterday I went out to Stanley Park and it was beautiful. It was nice to get out. And I looked around the city, and the city is pretty ghost town. Yeah, the skateboarders can just skate right down the middle of the street, and buses are pretty much empty. As you can see, the businesses were boarded up a couple of weeks ago, so most businesses downtown are completely closed. This is Granville, the busiest street in Vancouver. It's where all the nightclubs are. It's where all the fancy restaurants are. It's where all the best retailers are. Basically, the cultural hub of Vancouver is Granville Street. All right. Now, other things that I've done is yesterday I went out around Vancouver. I went to Stanley Park and I checked out how the city was doing, because getting outside sometimes is necessary. I wore my necessary PPE, my mask, and on public transit I use a face shield anywhere where I'm in close contact with people. But I just had to get out of the house, and yeah, so aside from getting out of the house and cooking and playing video games and all that jazz, what I really want to get down to is the power of self-love and positive thinking. Positive thinking, I've talked a lot about that in past vlogs, and it really is true. By focusing on the positive things in life, we keep ourselves oriented. By focusing on our goals and our dreams, we keep ourselves moving forward. You often see people who get stuck in a rut, and the rut they get stuck in is because Their dreams are just too challenging. Moving ahead is just too difficult. So, especially in our film industry, you'll see a lot of these people who are like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be a director, I'm never going to be a producer. Joel, have you gotten to that point yet? You're 5 years into your career, have you gotten into the point where you've just given up on your dreams? And the thing is, no, I haven't. And one of the reasons I haven't given up on my dreams is positive thinking and mental health. Which is, the second you give up on your dreams, life just starts to get a darker tint. You start to see everything through gray, and everything is less satisfying, less enjoyable. If I was to give up on my dreams, for example, and think, oh, I'm not going to be a producer, becoming a training assistant director wouldn't have been that great. Moving from PA, becoming a third assistant director wouldn't have been that great. I'm going out to try to be a producer's assistant right now, and if I gave up on my dreams, there would be no point in becoming a producer's assistant, because I would have accepted that I'm never going to be a producer of massive intellectual property. And so part of maintaining that drive, some call it ambition, but maintaining that ambition and drive requires me to genuinely believe in myself and my ability to succeed. And so the same can be applied to coronavirus. We have this virus that's put us all on lockdown. We're not able to leave our houses, and that can get pretty daunting. It's easy for people to think, oh, you know what, we're not going to be out of here till 2021. There's a lot of doomsayers out there who are like, oh, the film industry is kaput, it's over. There's a lot of people who are like, the economy is going to collapse. I myself have posted that we're about to enter the second Great Depression. And there's just a lot of daunting things ahead and challenges that are going to really push us to the brink. And instead of seeing those challenges as like walls and, oh my gosh, the whole world's collapsing, I think it's important to see those challenges as things that are going to make us stronger and see the positives. So if you focus on the positives and you're like, okay, I'm going to emerge from this quarantine a stronger person and a better person, it'll really help you push through these months. So I've talked to you a bit about positive thinking, but what about self-love? So something I'm seeing a lot of online is people who are lonely, people who are codependent, who are like, oh, my sexual or romantic partner is in a different country, or they're quarantined away from me. And a lot of people just not feeling love right now. And I think it's an important part of the process of being positive and having positive thinking is to also embrace loving yourself. And I think these days we're so dependent on other people for love and affirmation that we forget the power that we ourselves have to treat ourselves right and to love ourselves. And so something I try to do every day is I'll wake up in the morning and I'll look at the mirror. And in the past, I've really not liked my weight. And I mean, you can see I love food way too much, which is why I often tend to be overweight. But I started this about a year ago, where I looked in the mirror and I was like, you know what would make me feel better? What would make me feel better about myself? And I was like, you know what? I would really like to lose some weight. And I was like, you know what? I would really like to have some friends. And I would really like to potentially have a girlfriend and a romantic partner. And there was just these things that I was like, you know what? These are things that I want that would make me feel better about myself. And so right now in quarantine, you'll notice that I'm often clean shaven, that I'm trying to take care of myself. And one of the reasons is to feel good about myself. So even though I'm not really seeing anyone, I'll often put on a suit, just because the suit makes me feel good. I'll clean my hair, I'll shave, because I feel good when I'm grooming. And I like to look in the mirror and be like, you know what? This is one handsome devil. I'm not overweight like I used to be. I've accomplished a lot in the last year. I'm an amazing person. And so part of embracing self-love and loving yourself is giving yourself the credibility that you deserve for who you are and how you're handling this crisis. And I think a lot of people are trying to credit other people. They're like, oh, my lover is the reason I'm happy, or my communication with a friend over the internet is the reason I'm happy, or they're trying to get the love and affection from other sources. Some people are like, you know what, God loves me. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't love yourself, you're not going to get that love that you need. Because at the end of the day, you can rely on other people to give you the love that you want in life. But if you don't love yourself, none of their love is going to matter because you won't accept it. And surviving this next year of COVID going around is going to be really hard for even the best of us. Even the strongest of us are going to have difficulty halfway through the year or towards the end of the year. You're going to see it, and we're already seeing it in New York. People jumping out their windows, people ending their lives. And the sad fact is, they just don't feel loved. And so, the most important takeaway, in my opinion, from today's vlog is just to remember to love yourself, okay? If you don't have anybody, take yourself on date night. Sit down in a bathtub, put on some candles, drink some wine, watch the sunset, watch Netflix and chill with yourself. Pull out ice cream. You want to continue losing that weight, go outside, jog on the spot in your front yard. Do whatever you need to do, absolutely any means necessary, to show yourself the love and affection that you deserve. And if you have a lover or you have somebody in your life who gives you love, make sure you're loving on them as well. And at the end of the day, remember that you can't love on them if you don't have the love to give. And the only way you have the love to give is if you love yourself. So whether you are single or whether you are in a relationship, the struggles with COVID-19 and with this virus and with the economy about to collapse are going to be really harsh. And you need to build your foundation for the next year of your life on love. Have a great day, folks.